All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Prime Minister, our leader, and the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they have been vindicated by the DG, that's DSS boss, who recently, not even recently, just few hours ago, came out, make it public, that Nigerians should defend themselves against terrorism or terrorists in Nigeria. That they should not rely on the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army, security forces, that they should defend how. No sule. And this is the same thing our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was crying for. And this is the same thing they charge him now, simply calling for Biafrans to defend themselves against the terrorist attack coming from the Boko Haram, ISS, and all that kind of stuff. The same thing Mazi Simon Ekpa was crying for, that made him to rise up and start defending Biafra land and Biafran people. So I hope this message will get to Finland government so that they will be aware that Simon Ekpa they are trying to charge on terrorism is not a terrorist. So, but now DSS boss, somebody who's supposed to protect the country, is now calling people na ha pota defend how. Na ha rely on any police or army, any security forces in Nigeria. Na ha defend where they should go and defend themselves. That's what the DSS boss said. Defend yourself against terrorism. Don't rely solely on army, police. That's advice from DSS boss to Nigerians. So I know Finland government, they are aware of this information and they are hearing this information so that they will know. Coming out from the people that are supposed to protect the country. Because they know that no sule, that I get defend anyone. These people that are today buying people in that country, they can't defend anybody against these people. That's anyone. Nigerians should come and defend themselves. So, I mean, this is what we have been talking about. And it's now very, very clear and obvious. So let us just read the line coming from this man. The way he talk about, not me talk, now the man talk. The Director General DG of the Department of State Service, DSS, Adiola Oluwatoshin Ajayi, has advised Nigerians to take charge of their own security, as the military, police, and intelligence services cannot safeguard every community from terrorist threats across the country. And I don't hear them. Ajayi shared these insights during a public event that was held in Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, FCT, on Tuesday, April 1st. He pointed to previous events in Bauchi. Now he's giving examples, in Bauchi, where local residents effectively defended themselves against Boko Haram Debwelu without relying on security forces for assistance. Ajayi said, speaking seriously about the practical approach to mobilizing against insecurity, I will share my experience when I was a state director in Bauchi. Most of you will remember an incident in Azara. A group of Boko Haram terrorists invaded Azara, shooting in an attempt to kidnap people, but the community fought back. They killed some members of the community, but in the end, the people by all of them. Since that day, there has been is, there is no single attack in Azara. Ajayi went on to mention that former military ruler General Ibrahim Babangida retired, supported the concept of community-driven resistance, adding that, as a matter of fact, the former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, said, I quote, if we want to stop or curb terrorism, we should emulate the Azara example. Ajayi mentioned that Tafawa Balewa local government area, LOG, in Bauchi, is also an example of community defense. He stated that the people there rose up on one occasion. They knew their terrain better up to climb up the trees and mountains. And when the invaders came, they don't only stop them, but also seize their weapons. Since then, you hardly hear about attacks on Tafawa Balewa. What I am trying to say is that the practical approach to mobilizing people is that you have to get involved, get everybody involved. You cannot rely on police, Nigeria army, or any security. You have to defend yourself against the terrorism that is taking place in Nigeria. Ajayi urged all Nigerians to rethink their approach to self-defense, emphasizing that communities must serve as the first line of defense against terrorism and other criminals. The DSS board stated that the military people, police, and other security agencies are there to handle the bigger threat. They are there to handle the bigger threat. So, but you should not wait for them to come at all time to defend you. Una don't hear them. This advice or message was coming from DSS Bose himself, who advised the public to defend Onwe. And this is the same thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. That was, like I said, this is the same thing that our leader said, that they twisted, to justify his extraordinary rendition and charging him for incitement of violence. This is the same thing Simon Ekpa said as well, was fighting for. They're charging him for terrorism. Now, the DSS boss has come out. And this man is not the first man in Nigeria to make this warning public or to ask Nigerians to defend themselves. Even governor of Sokoto State, I think he's still governor or something, I've forgotten his name, has advised his citizens, the state, to defend themselves against terrorism. There's another man, so many prominent people in Nigeria, they have come out to make it public that they should defend. So self-defense is not an offense. And that's the same thing that Finland government must realize and know, that Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was defending his people. He's not a terrorist. The terrorists are there in Nigeria committing crimes, buying people, doing all sorts of evil. That's the people they're supposed to go and arrest and lock up. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in the DSS custody up to today. And that's the same thing that he said that the Nigerian government twisted to justify his extra rendition, to justify him for committing terrorism and all that. You see what we're talking about? So it's now very clear and obvious. We live here. Leave your comments. God bless you all. Bye.